County Board of Supervisors for this 11th day of December 2025 to order. First thing we have on the agenda is the call to order, which we've done. Second thing we're going to do is accept the minutes. We have a motion to do the minutes from November 13, 2025. Jim, got second by Charles and by Joe Brand. Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Carried. We'll move on to staffing of the backfill requests, and I'll turn it over to Danielle.
So on your agenda, I actually added one additional backfill request from the Office for the Aging. They had an aging services aide for DM vacate on December 8th due to a resignation. I'm asking for approval of that back.
Motion to move it. Dave, a second. Charles, Jim. Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
The next one is Code Enforcement Officer. I'm bringing this back from the November Personnel Committee. The position vacated October 7th due to a resignation, and I'm asking for approval for that to be backfilled.
Motion. I'll move it. Second. Jim and Brian, under discussion, John, what does that leave you now strength wise? Will that bring you full strength again?
Bring it back to full.
Back to full. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The next one is for social services. I did remove one, the caseworker, which is vacating at the end of this month, so I wanted to just hold that until January. The other one is a community services worker, vacating 12/12 due to a resignation. Asking for approval for that.
We have a motion to approve. That's Dave. Charles. Any discussion?
What's the public interface with them? What do they do?
Transport.
Okay.
My only question is on all three of them, even though the other one you didn't bring back, these are all in the budget for next
Yes.
year. It's not something. Now, if we, like, say that, I don't remember off the top of my head what ones moved or left, but if say this one that's resigning, if you brought this one back, is that one less person that would lose their job?
Yes. The one that I'm bringing back in January.
So why would
The
we?
thing is, I want to make sure the person's leaving in January.
Okay, got it.
That's
Okay.
where I'm at with that.
Understand?
Dwayne, this is not one of the ones that was eliminated.
I'm sorry.
This is not one of the ones that moved on to staff and pattern. This is different. one
The
of 30
community
different. Gotcha.
services
Okay.
is a straight. Yeah.
Just double checking. Very pleasant.
I just wanted to mention the backfill, so I think what we're doing when people are leaving departments, the department head is reviewing the duties that position was doing. And really vetting whether or not they need to backfill or not. It's not just, there's a vacancy, so therefore we're coming in and asking to fill it. The department heads is reviewing it, supplying information and reasoning for filling those positions. I think we're looking at those a lot deeper than we used to, right? To make sure
Yeah.
that we really.
And my
need these
concern was we
positions.
weren't filling one to cut them on January 1st. It wasn't in the
Right.
budget. I didn't want to do that.
And in your packets are actually the reasonings for the backfills. That they provided. I did not get one provided yet for that caseworker as well, so.
Okay.
Any more discussion? And all in favor, aye? Opposed? Carried.
And the last one is a social services examiner position vacated on December 4th due to a resignation.
A motion to do that. No. Jim. Everybody, Dave. Under discussion, so if we have one of these that's resigned, do we have somebody who we just placed in the position too? We don't have voted that.
Yeah, yes,
Okay, I didn't know if we were that, that's all.
yes, yep, we're looking at that.
So we're reaching out to a little bit.
And the ones, once it gets to the new year, the ones that were laid off go on a preferred list, and they're the first ones to be asked back.
Okay, very good. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Other business. Labor request.
So I do have a waiver request for Adirondack EAP, Employee Assistance Program. In review with Sue McManus, we did notice that our contract was a little bit outdated. The actual current rates weren't in the current contract, so I did want to ask for a waiver so that we could actually get an updated contract for that, with the rates actually being lowered from the current contract.
We have a motion to use that for contract purposes. Dave, we have a second. Chairman and Charlie. Is there any discussion? Chairman?
The rates are lowered, are the services lowered?
No, services stay the same.
Seems rather odd.
No, it's just what was contracted in 2005. We have the same, it's just, I think we negotiated back then a lower, between that time, we negotiated a lower rate.
Okay.
So,
That's fine, I'm not
yeah,
complaining about it, I just say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. How does the use of that service? Is it up and down?
it's pretty consistent. The only thing that we get are numbers of employees that actually use it. It is being used, but not a lot.
Very good. All right, should I have further discussion? Oh, sorry, Al.
And just point of clarity, just to be a resolution authorizing the chairman to sign in a waiver from here, just a point of clarity.
So we've got the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
The next item is the staffing pattern. So in your packets is the drafted staffing pattern for 2026. Everything from the budget is included in it. So I'm asking just for the approval to adopt the staffing pattern and fill the positions that would be budgeted for it. Thank you, Melissa.
And this moves to the full board.
Yes, yep.
What's the net from last year? Difference?
I think it was
There's a,
two.
there's a decrease of 30 full-time positions and 27 part-time positions, so a total of 57 positions that are out of the staffing pattern for 2026 that were in there for 2025. Well,
Oh, I remember right, yes.
Danielle, I feel you prepared to answer this for you. All said and done, 57 positions. How many people after the backfills today, those are, so that's covering positions that are gonna be open to be backfilled, but it's gonna be an opportunity for people that are going to lose their jobs. How many people are gonna be out the door in January? All the dust up.
Full time,
Yeah. Two or three.
yeah.
Two or three full-time
more
people.
than 2 or
Just 2 or 3 have lost their job from this.
Yes.
Okay.
part-timers, there were 4, but full-time it's.
and then there are more than that that have actually received demotions, so less pay going into 2026.
But they didn't lose their
Well,
job.
they didn't lose their job, but I don't think that's any less.
But didn't
critical.
everybody's in health insurance go up? So everybody took a cut in pay on top of that, right?
Right, right.
So I mean, everybody's taking a cut in pay off this. And, you know, I just wanna know how many people are going out the door and aren't coming back. And it's 2 or 3 or 4, you said.
2 to 3.
And how many do you think took demotions? I think it's less than 10.
6,
Yeah, I was gonna say
6 to 8,
half a
yeah.
dozen.
But that doesn't give you a true figure because you may have someone coming back that's gonna backfill it.
Well, no, she's already calculated that in, right?
Yes.
But I just wanted everybody to know the end result, and I wanted to know the end results of that, and no way am I being critical about anything I'm saying. But we all know what we did, basically.
And it's a lot different than where we started.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's,
Very good. All right, we have a motion to move staffing pattern to the full board. Dan, sorry, I apologize.
I'm gonna bring up something fairly unpopular. I have discussed this with Melissa. And I will potentially be bringing it to the Government Ops Committee next year. I may be asking something that was suggested to me during budget negotiations. It's something I suggested to Brian that if I had to do, I could do it. You know, I have a staffing pattern for 4 attorneys. We haven't had 4 attorneys in 4 years. Getting people to apply for the positions is extremely difficult. What I may suggest, and I will preface this by saying I know the optics will be absolutely horrible. but I might suggest to the board cutting the assistant county attorney position with the proviso that part of that budget cut, it's currently, I believe, about an $82,300 position. That 37 of that go back into the general fund, and that I spread the remainder of that amongst the 3 attorney positions. I know that would be raises. I know that would be highly unpopular. But I've had two attorneys now for 3 months. It's becoming far too frequent that my office has to be in too many places with not enough bodies. Honestly, it's extremely difficult getting a deputy, which is quite frankly the position I needed to fill, because if God forbid something happens to me, we have a very good attorney who unfortunately only has 1 year experience and doesn't live in the county. And quite frankly, and I'll provide this information when that government ops meeting comes, but it's very hard to get a deputy with experience to come in when most of the deputies in the area are making more than I am. So I just want to throw that out there and kind of grease the skids. I understand it may not be popular, and I understand it may not be done, and I would understand the reasons for it. I know it's been a very difficult year. But you know, it would be a small budget savings, and I just want to let know I'm going to be asking for that. So.
You can get a government ops. Yes, right.
And just to add to that, we've had trouble hiring attorneys as part of our reason assigned counsel has gotten so expensive. And we're going to dig far deeper into figuring that out. But we may have to do stuff with a lot of attorneys to make sure we can hire attorneys. So it's being looked at. We tried to keep everybody together according to the Harrell Herring lawsuit, but that hasn't even panned out. They aren't even paying us what they're supposed to pay us now at the state that we won or lost in the Harrell Herring that they were supposed to pay. So with that in mind, maybe having to restructure how everybody's paid, they might not be in line the same way they're in line right now. It might be a total different one. And I know that Mike has even mentioned that maybe we should be suing the state for the money in Harrell Herring, and which would come through the county attorney's office. And if that was the case, we would need more bodies and a lot more happening. So it should be for a good discussion, but in the long run, it could save us a lot of money. So that's a big thing.
Yes, listen.
So Dan and I spoke about this, and I agree that the salaries in the county attorney's office are not comparable with other attorneys in the surrounding counties. I look at the big picture when I look at our salary schedule. I can say the same about every department in this county. Every department head, if anyone were to leave right now, I think we're gonna have a really hard time recruiting someone to replace those people without increasing salaries, because our salaries are not comparable. I understand Dan's succession planning, but the fact is, we just went through a budget where we didn't give raises to anyone. So if you're gonna pick out a group of 3 attorneys in one office and give raises to them, there's gonna be some backlash from that. And that's my real concern here. I can't disagree that they're underpaid, but like I said, I've said that with every department in the county. So I think we really need to look closely at that. Because I think you really will have to increase any salaries going forward of department heads that leave. I mean, you're just not gonna be able to fill them because we're not competitive. So it's just something to think about. And we did talk about it. I didn't think it was coming today. I think we
Well,
said
that's why I said,
January, but
I just want, I know there's always been a rule of, you know, we don't change the staffing pattern and do things mid-year, and I just kind of wanted to say, I'm bringing it to committee. That's the only discussion this was at this point.
Right.
The only thing I'd add to that is if we're gonna hemorrhage $1 million in assigned counsel by not giving them the increases, I mean, I think we need to look at all the attorneys.
oh, so you want to give all the department attorneys raises?
I may
not
want to
just
look at
county.
all of them first, but I would still look at all the department heads going forward. We're, like I said, we're trying to get under 10% this next year, which does give us a little bit of leeway. If you could save that $1 million or $2 in assigned counsel that we're just pushing down the drain.
So that
That's a
would
lot
just
of
be
money.
giving raises to the public defender's office.
What's
correct?
that?
I mean, to save assigned counsel.
You may have to.
Is just.
That's what I
public
mean,
defenders.
but we need to look at that. I don't know that it's even feasible or possible. But we need to look at all of that to once, I do believe. And if we could get Hurrell Herring to pay the actual costs, there'd be another $500,000. It would, you know, it starts to add up real quick that you have more money to work with. But there's a lot of ifs.
I just think we're getting into territory that could become a little dangerous if we're basing raises for department heads based on the revenue that comes into their departments.
No, this is on savings, money not leaving. Where the assigned counsel is going right down the drain.
Oh, and I understand
That's
that,
just
and I
plain
think
leave
that's
it.
why the public defender is trying to get part-time attorneys in
Right.
there, which I think is the savings, 'cause you're not paying the legacy costs, right, for the health insurance and retirement. But, so it's worth it.
Which
Look at.
worth a real
Yeah.
look. That's
But
where I was going. I don't know that we're gonna
right
get there
now
in
is what-
2 months, but I think that we've gotta take a look. He's not wrong.
So are we at the point, where we're going to call the assigned counsel, and public defender and sit down and discuss how we're going to correct this? And find out what the hell's really going on and why they're not assignments that we need a local attorney?
I think we are to that point. The first thing is to find out how much they're losing, why they're losing it, what's that actual number? And go from there.
And I don't know what committee that would come out of. I think we need to move on it sooner than later. You know, so we can get to it rather than wait until 6 months down the road before we can do anything. We need to do it now or later.
I think we have a meeting actually on the schedule for January with
Yeah.
both those departments.
Okay.
Chairman, I think we've gotten off on a separate item, given that a motion on the staffing. So I'll make a motion on that, just so.
I'll second it. Right, second. You have any further discussion? Okay, the staff pattern will be to move to the full board for their decisions. Okay? We have a,
And just to note, as we do have retirement recognition at the December board meeting, it's a long time. People think, we have some in their 30, 35 years status. Should be getting away.
you're right. And then we have, what on that?
Yeah, yeah.
Just noted, just noted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, retirement recognitions. Okay, so now we're done under other, Jim, and I'll go back to where everything was, because it does affect the staff or pattern. We're on the thing for January to have that meeting. That's what concerning is this, we just don't want to kick the can down the road and watch money go out the door on a weekly basis. So, they've established that anyways. Yes, Charles.
I think we already do a preliminary analysis of that, although not as deep as you guys are wanting to, that we're not gonna be able to get that number less than $500,000 a year, given the natural conflicts that are seeming to come out. I think we did have a discussion about it.
We did, but it seems to be going up more than $500,000 a year, every year.
Right, but
And if you don't curb it, they can make it go $1 million and $2 million a year.
understand that, but we can't expect it to go to zero.
It won't go to zero, no.
And we just
No,
have
that
to,
part's true.
and that's the benefit of the part-time council, especially. Irregardless of the underpayment that we're doing to everybody in the county. That's a whole different issue. And this is a
Yes.
Jake.
Yeah, I think we need to look at the part-time, we need to look at contracting. We need to understand why our county attorneys around the county won't do the work and we're paying, I was discussing with Al. By the time Albany comes up and goes back before they do a look for work, we've got just shy of $400 into those people with mileage and time. Before they do anything.
Right.
And that's a problem. So we need to find
Just money
out.
wasted.
Just a question in terms of other counties must have the same issue. We work with other counties to see if we can share that pain instead of giving the assigned counsel.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping will come out of this meeting, and we can talk to the two department heads and say, okay, how are you gonna correct this? What do we need to correct this? Why have we got this problem? What are the blockers? Have you attempted to work with anybody else, or is it easier to just say, you know, so they got their own little networks of attorneys say, well, I'm not gonna go that one, we'll go do this one. But we have to hold them to task. That's why I asked if we're gonna have a meeting, and I apologize, I didn't realize it already been scheduled. That's good.
We did, but maybe it makes sense to bring them to public safety and have that in a committee instead of what we originally planned.
make them uncomfortable.
Well, let them explain exactly why it is. You know, we've heard pieces of it, but we haven't sat down and had a detailed in-depth conversation as to what can they do to correct the problem. Yes, Charles?
This is way out of left field. Why can't we move the judiciary component to where the most expensive attorney is? Traveling with our own least expensive attorney to a different court. Same judicial judges, different counties, but have we tried in Albany? If we can't get a local lawyer up here and we send our guys down to Albany at not $152 an hour.
Jurisdictional issues.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, but
Well, I mean, in a criminal matter, you have to try the case where
really cracking.
the crime occurs unless it's, unless there's a venue issue. And there's a lot of lawyers voting on these policies. So that's what you're really up against. You got lawyers taking care of lawyers.
Well, I think Supervisor Hogan asked some questions that need to be answered.
Yes.
Scott?
Can we start with a local policy that we select local attorneys for? You know, when it comes to sign council. And the guys that are coming from Albany or the county or Lax. Maybe try to get other counties on board with the same thing. Because they're doing it to all of us. Yeah. So. And so I look forward to the meeting to rectify this because I like to delve deeper into the contract.
It will be meetings to rectify that, not a meeting.
You have to start some.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Very good.
There'll be a lot of internal meetings before that too.
Does anyone have anything else at all in there? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to Jim? Gabe, we are adjourned. Thank you.
I need a motion to accept the November 13 minutes, moved by Jim, second by Sam, Charlie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, carried. Larry's not here, but we'll go to him as soon as he arrives. Treasurer.
All right. Now, Brian, do you want me to do some of everything that I have for you or come back at the end with my others? Because I had some things pop up after the agenda that are.
Do everything and maybe you'll make it before Larry arrives.
Okay. In your packets, sales tax took another down on the fifth for $71,000. We're still $623,000 over this time last year, but not sure what the trend is going to be. They would assume that we're going to at least make budget, but the growth, not sure how much the growth is going to be. I can not even make an intelligent prediction on the rest of this year in sales tax. We'll start seeing some numbers from Black Friday soon, and that we'll see how the spending was during the Black Friday season. What's nice about our county is if spending is strong or stable in Black Friday, we have a lot of people that got comfortable ordering from their couches during COVID. That buying pattern continues, and since sales tax is point of delivery, we benefit when you have stuff sent to your house and not go to Walmart in Warren County. Yes,
I'll say one thing, Amazon, don't spray.
yep.
Yeah.
It is, for all the people that are working on there driving. now.
You know,
They're doing multiple shifts now.
yeah, and getting this stuff faster, because there's a hub in Granville has been nice. The other thing that I want to update you on, thanks to Supervisor Hogan and Assemblywoman Warner, we have made some cracks in the wall in Albany at Tax and Finance. We have some properties up in the IDA who, because of their zip code and mailing address, sales tax has been going to Warren County. Assemblywoman Warner has worked with us. We have a way now that we think we're going to be able to break through that wall and even go back and recover some of the sales tax that left us and went to Warren County. Well, I can't make any promises, but this is the most progress I've seen since 2012. We've attempted this on several occasions with multiple legislators. We finally have a path to maybe success. So thank you, Supervisor.
Yes.
Al, will that impact Rensselaer County too?
So if this is successful, it will also, the next sword I will swing is my Eagleville, Buskirk, those southern spurs that have gone to Rensselaer County. Because not only are we losing those monies, they're being charged 8% instead of the appropriate 7%. So what I've done for the southern spur people, I have a residency card that I issue. We've had some success with that where they can show their like telephone company, hey, I'm a Washington County resident. And because they were actually being charged 8%. So we've been able to break through some of those barriers. This is very encouraging, though. This is the farthest I've seen this problem progress since 2012. So I can't wait to see this come to fruition.
Yeah, so we hit the northern part of the Kentucky above, but I know the pilot not.
Yes, sir, that's,
So that all goes over.
so that's part of,
They got all the.
if
marinas
we're
up there,
successful
money-
here,
Rental money's going to, Warren
same,
County.
same logic, same logic. If we can identify the properties,
Yep, do that.
we can report those zip codes to Tax and Finance. So, again, if I'm successful with the IDA properties, that gives me now a template to go back and grab some of these other ones. And, you know, when you look at the millions of dollars that these corporations in the IDA spend, 3% of those numbers is not a slouch number. And remember, whatever we recover, the towns are gonna get 7% of. So we all benefit, if we can get this across the finish line.
Will we lose some in some areas too?
No, will we?
No, I'd like to know that if you don't bring it up, right?
Supervisor Tall.
So does success
When this
come automatically or the loss? They're gonna be cost.
So I'm gonna try the path of least resistance first. Where I tell them this property, according to your own database, is because they now provide a jurisdictional rate lookup to on their website. Right, so they now have their own tool that I can actually prove to them in their own tool that that property is a Washington County property. If I'm unsuccessful in my request, I can escalate it to a more serious request.
And would that be a 2-year, 5-year look back? What's gonna be the statute of limitations? When I get,
And that's a legal answer that I don't know. I'm gonna go after as far back as I can. My request will be as far back.
no, I was wondering.
Did he also say that?
No, not at all.
So, yeah.
So I'm
Behind you.
if they'll go back 3 years, that's fantastic. If they go back 10, that's even more fantastic.
And if it's just fits going forward is the main thing.
If, so I think the least successful thing, the least successful would be to fix it going forward.
Mhm.
So even that, I'm gonna put in the win column if I can fix it going forward. But I would love to be able to go back even 5 years, because I know with a couple of the vendors specifically, they've shared with me some pretty substantial purchases in that 3 to 5 year window that I would love to recover. But again, I will put a forward fix in the win column, but I'm absolutely gonna go back as far as I can.
Approximately on an annual basis, what do you think it represents for us? 300,000 or? 700,000?
I think that there's easily. And this is from my gut, there's probably $50 million worth of sales
So.
that we've lost our 3%.
the one-
And I don't have a basis in fact, I
But
have
that's not
some,
yearly.
no, that's the numbers, some of the numbers the vendors have shared with me, I think is easily in the tens of millions of dollars.
A year,
In my look back period.
so 3% of that.
And there's also, my understanding, there's a fuel. There's some kind of fuel business up there. That would have significant sales tax attached to it that I don't have numbers on at this point.
The one,
Right, so 50 would be 1.5.
But that's still
Wait, are they aware of what we're looking at? The other counties, have we spoken with, has anybody spoken with them yet?
No, sir.
and they
That's
will
not
be
the
happy.
idea. Oh, well.
Way back,
It's not that.
when I was in Davis, we did this for some Fort Edward addresses. It was residential addresses, but there was a range of them. I don't think there was any big. I don't think they went back at all. I think they gave us just going forward, but we've done it once.
And again, I will try everything to go back, but if I can even fix forward, that would be huge.
But if they'll actually fix geographically, instead of the way we tried in the past.
I truly feel that technology has caught up now, where
And that was the problem then.
it was always blamed on technology, right? That the vendor was reporting wrong.
Yeah.
I think that technology has improved so much that the reporting now should be a little bit,
Should be much
it
easier.
should be much easier.
We will lose ground in the Fort Edward area because Southwest Falls. Dying all
You
Fort
can
Edward.
send the menu.
And there's a lot of business over there. It's been coming a lot.
Dana Hogan.
So what is the next step?
My next step now is to work with tax and finance on the reclaiming procedure. That's where I am now.
Yeah.
I've identified, streets and specific addresses.
Okay.
I think I had 8 on my initial list to have them go back and look at. And
You'll keep us updated.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
And thank Brian Granger for bringing it up
Yes,
in the
no,
first place. Thank you, Brian,
well, that's,
wherever you are.
that's what's good about people coming to a meeting.
Way in the back.
I just want to say, we had a similar issue with the DMV, with our southern tier, the Eagle Bridge, Easton. Half of us are Scotticoke address, so if you see a renewal come in the mail to you and it says Troy, New York, to renew it, they have you down as a Rensselaer County resident, but we cannot go through and look at each person. We would need you as a resident to contact us, have you check with the DMV, because it has to come from the individual. We just can't go through and change them.
And again, we do offer a program where I issue, it looks like a little business card.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
basically a resident card. We've had some success with it.
Yes.
But I would think
People in
at
our
the same
company.
time that we're doing this. At the IDA park is that basic location we're looking at right at the very moment. We should also add in that pilot knob area too. Same time. we get
Well,
all-
once, and again, Brian, if I use the IDA as the template, then I can just start banging out all the other addresses we know about.
Sounds good.
Right, real quick, I'd just like to thank Dana as well, because I know that, not under my tenure, but over numerous years, that the 48 has tried to get that resolved, and through no luck with our local politicians. You know, state assembly, senator, Congress people, just,
And I feel terrible because we have taken stabs at this before
Yeah.
unsuccessfully, so somebody's attitude changed, that they're at least willing to help us. So.
Hopefully AI catches up with Dana Hogan and. we'll be back.
Good luck.
So, but I noticed that Larry's here, so I'm gonna shut up because I've got more bad news for you.
Oh,
Larry, you're next. I didn't need a motion for.
you're not the
executive
bad,
session.
Larry. You're the good. Second.
Purposes for contract negotiations.
Nothing burning to the-
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
For an executive session, so.